Today I am going to teach you gastric acid secretion at cellular level. How your gastric acid secretion occur at cellular level? Believe me, your gastric acid secretion at the cellular level is done by three idiots. Three cells are involved in gastric acid secretions called parietal cells, G cells and the paraendocrine cells. Even though three cells are involved in gastric acid production, only one cell going to secrete gastric acid. Anyone tell which cell going to secrete gastric acid out of those three cells? You have a 33.3% winning chance. Parietal cells, very good. Your parietal cell going to secrete gastric acid, but other cells are involved in gastric acid production. Other cells are involved in gastric acid production. My God, these cells are pathologically enlarged. This is my stomach. If you found pathologically enlarged tissues, you have to do biopsy in order to identify whether it is malignant or not. Here, educational pathologically enlarged cells is there. This cell is called parietal cells. This one cell, gastrin cells or G cells. This one, paraendocrine cells. Your parietal cell going to secrete gastric acid. These two guys, two idiots, going to support them. These two idiots going to support him. You know your parietal cells contain large amount of carbonic anhydrase enzyme. What? Carbonic anhydrase enzyme. Carbonic anhydrase. What is the function of carbonic anhydrase? If you have carbon dioxide molecule and water molecule, your carbonic anhydrase enzyme can unite those molecules together and produce carbonic acid. Carbon dioxide and water unite together and produce carbonic acid. Carbonic acid, one of the weak acid, again can dissociate into hydrogen ion and bicarbonate. This reaction also catalyzed by your carbonic anhydrase enzyme. Your parietal cell are rich in carbonic anhydrase enzyme. Your parietal cell containing lot of carbonic anhydrase enzyme. Because of that, your parietal cell capable of producing carbonic acid and bicarbonate and hydrogen ion rapidly. If your parietal cell found carbon dioxide molecule and water molecule, what parietal cell does is they unite together, produce carbonic acid. Then carbonic acid dissociate into hydrogen ion and bicarbonate. This hydrogen ion actively pump into stomach. Actively pump into stomach. Now your cell lost one positive ion, hydrogen ion. In order to maintain the electrical neutrality, they take one potassium ion from here inside. They utilize ATP. Why? They put hydrogen ion into stomach against the concentration gradient. Because of that, they have to utilize ATP molecule. This is hydrogen potassium ATPase pump. This is called hydrogen potassium ATPase pump. It has another name as well. I am pretty sure all of you know about that name, proton pump. Hydrogen potassium ATPase pump or proton pump, both are same, proton pump. When you put hydrogen ion into here, your bicarbonate remaining within the cells. Remaining bicarbonate within cell is not good. you have to remove bicarbonate. What happened is bicarbonate gradually diffused into here. Is it possible to diffuse bicarbonate from cell membrane to other side? No. Bicarbonate is polarized molecule. Polarized molecule can't diffuse easily. So because of that, there is another kind of pump which remove bicarbonate from here to here, from here to interstitial space, and they take one chloride ion for that in order to maintain the electrical neutrality. They remove bicarbonate ion from here to here, they take one chloride ion from here to here. Now electrical neutrality maintained. What happened is this chloride ion slowly diffused from here to here to here to here when it go into your stomach. There is no pump for chloride. There is a pump for hydrogen ion. Once your chloride come from here to here, hydrogen ion and chloride ion unite together and produce hydrochloric acid, commonly called HCl acid. That is how you are gastric acid secretion. This proton pump or hydrogen potassium ATPase pump can be stimulated by gastrin. Can be stimulated by first one gastrin, second one histamine. Third one more here, acetylcholine. This one is muscarinic receptor. These three can stimulate your hydrogen potassium ATPase pump. Which one? Gastrin can stimulate your hydrogen potassium ATPase pump. Histamine can stimulate your gastrin, not the gastrin, hydrogen potassium ATPase pump. Acetylcholine can stimulate your hydrogen potassium ATPase pump. I have a question. From where those substances come? Gastrin, histamine, acetylcholine. No doubt, acetylcholine come from your vagus nerve. Vagus nerve is belong to parasympathetic nervous system. Parasympathetic nervous system going to secrete acetylcholine. So this one, because of acetylcholine released by vagus nerve. This is your vagus nerve going to secrete acetylcholine going to bind to your muscarinic receptors. Muscarinic receptor, once they bound to muscarinic receptors, they send an stimulus to your sodium potassium ATPase pump. Please stimulate your pump, produce more acid. This guy going to take their favorite ice cream. I need more acid to digest it, but this one contain only water. This one contain only water. But my vagus nerve think I am taking ice cream. So that thing not happen. I already know this is water. So once our vagus nerve stimulate, they going to secrete acetylcholine here. They stimulate muscarinic receptors. Once they stimulate muscarinic receptors, they stimulate sodium hydrogen ATPase. I have a question. From where this gastrin and histamine come? Your gastrin or G cells contain acetylcholine receptors or muscarinic receptors. Once your vagus nerve stimulate, vagus nerve again going to secrete acetylcholine and they stimulate your gastrin cell as well. They stimulate your gastrin or G cells. Once this cell stimulate, this cell going to secrete gastrin. This cell going to secrete gastrin. These gastrin go and stimulate your sodium potassium ATPase pump. This gastrin going to stimulate your sodium potassium ATPase pump. From where histamine come? It must be come from your paraendocrine cells. Here again muscarinic receptor is there. Your vagus nerve send another branch into paraendocrine cells. Not only that, this one contain gastrin receptor as well. Gastrin receptors. These this gastrin not only act here, can act here as well. Once those muscarinic receptors and gastrin receptors, G receptors and muscarinic receptors stimulate, these two send an stimulus to paraendocrine cells. Yes, this guy taste chicken piece. Please help us in order to stimulate gastric acid. Then paraendocrine cell, what that cell does is, they are going to secrete histamine. This histamine go and stimulate your parietal cells via your sodium potassium ATPase pump. Is it confusing, or am I teaching myself, or both? I will repeat it again. What happened is, carbon dioxide and water united together, and by the help of carbonic anhydrase they produce carbonic acid. Carbonic acid dissociates into hydrogen ion and bicarbonate. Hydrogen ion actively pump into your gastric juice, and instead of hydrogen ion they take potassium ion into inside. They utilize ATP. Because of that we are going to call it as hydrogen potassium ATPase pump, commonly called proton pump, easily called proton pump. Then bicarbonate remaining inside the cell. Because of that, bicarbonate has to pump into outside. They pump into outside. Instead of that, they take chloride ion into inside. This chloride ion slowly diffuse and come into your gastric stomach cavity. Once they come into stomach cavity, they united with hydrogen ion going to produce hydrochloric acid. This is one of the strong acid. Because of that, they easily can dissociate acid. Then your gastric acid secretion or proton pump can be stimulated by gastrin, histamine and acetylcholine. From where acetylcholine comes? From your vagus nerve. They stimulate muscarinic receptors and they send stimulatory impulse into your hydrogen potassium ATPase pump or proton pump. Please do more and more work with that impulse sent from your vagus nerve. In addition to that, vagus nerve send to impulse into your gastrin cells or G cells. Then your G cells going to produce lot of gastrin. These gastrin go and bind to these receptors and going to produce stimulatory effect on your hydrogen potassium ATPase pump or proton pump. In addition to that, these gastrin go and bind to your paraendocrine cells and stimulate histamine secretion. Not only that, your vagus impulse also come into your paraendocrine cells and going to stimulate your histamine secretions. This histamine also going to stimulate your gastric acid secretion by stimulating sodium potassium ATPase pump or proton pump. That is how your gastric acid secretion occur. Gastric acid secretion occur. What are the ways you have in order to stop the gastric acid secretion? What are the drugs you have in order to stop the gastric acid secretion? You can give drugs to block this one. Proton pump inhibitor. You can block proton pump. You can block proton pump inhibitor, commonly called omeprazole. You can block this one, histamine receptor blocker. Histamine receptor blockers. Famotidine, ranitidine, those drugs. If you have ulcer here, you can give some drugs in order to prevent this HCl contact with ulcer. Once you give that drug, they form layer from here to here. They form layer to here to here. That drugs form layer to here to here. So HCl contact or hydrochloric acid contact with the wound is inhibited. Then it helps to wound cure. It will improve the wound healing. That drug is called sucralfate. Sucralfate, some kind of ionic barrier. Once you develop ulcer, lot of iron particle is there, so drug can easily or preferentially bind into that surface. Ionic form ionic barrier, especially in the ulcer area. If you develop stomach ulcer, acid will worsen the ulceration process. You can give sucralfate, you can give acid lowering drugs, then sucralfate coat your wound and help to prevent acid contact, and other drug help to reduce the acid content, by that way your wound can easily heal. Not only that, you can give prostaglandin I2 and E2 analogs. Prostaglandin E2 and I2, misoprostol, What happens when you give misoprostol? It increases bicarbonate layer. Here little bit of bicarbonate diffuse from here to here, and bicarbonate layer is there. That bicarbonate will trap within the mucous membrane. All your gastric epithelium containing little bit of mucous membrane just attached to that. That mucous membrane containing bicarbonate when you come into stomach. What misoprostol does is increase the bicarbonate amount and increase mucus layer. If you have high bicarbonate content here and high mucus layer, it will protect your gastric acid epithelium. Why? It will prevent hydrochloric acid direct contact with your stomach epithelial cells. If you want to completely stop your gastric acid secretion, what you can do? Histamine receptor blockers, famotidine, ranitidine, partially block this pathway. Others are active. Gastrin pathway active, acetylcholine pathway active. If I give here proton pump inhibitor, this is the one and only gastric acid secretion process of your stomach. One and only gastric acid secretion process. If you can inhibit that one, you can achieve complete achlorohydria. That means no chloride, no hydrogen ion. No chloride, no hydrogen ion. Complete achlorohydria. I also having gastric ulcers and gastritis frequently. Time to time I am achieving complete achlorohydria. This is my omeprazole. I stimulate gastric acid secretion with my ice cream. Now I want to inhibit gastric acid secretion completely. I want to achieve complete achlorohydria for a while until my gastric wound heal. This is my omeprazole tablet. This is my water. I achieved my complete achlorohydria. Thank you very much for